Surround yourself with people better than you.
That's what I did.
That's what I did.
Know your own limitations.
Don't think you know everything.
And know that you need help in certain areas.
Even if you are the best person in the world,
You have to build a team.
In building this team, make sure to attract the best talent imaginable.
But also make sure that you get people with personalities that work together. William Polk Carey.
William Polk Carey.
If you really want to understand the ethos, the culture of the company, you have to take the time to learn a little bit about the company, its history, and you can't do that without learning a little bit about Bill.
What really mattered to Bill and sort of what he collected were relationships.
He would know everybody's name. He would stop by, he would pat you on the back and find out how everything was going.
Even though he would push hard, he also had a heart. He wanted people's ideas. He wanted their analysis, their thoughts.
He looked certainly at the company as his baby, and I think to some extent he looked at all of us as playing some role in that extended family that he had.
Back in the 1940s, when Mr. Carey arrived at Princeton for his first day of his freshman year with a dorm room refrigerator. And apparently most of the other kids on his floor didn't have one. So he went and bought up a bunch of other little dorm room refrigerators, rented them out to the other students on his floor. By the end of his sophomore year, so after 2 years at Princeton, he'd made over $10,000. That's where he first got the idea of owning something and renting it or leasing it out to somebody else, and both parties being able to take advantage of it.
After some years of working on Wall Street in the leasing area and corporate finance area, he seized upon this concept of providing retail investors access to the types of investments that up until then had been limited really to larger institutional investors. And Bill said, well, if you take a large corporately owned property and you break it up, you could sell those to your average investor. This was really the genesis of Bill's philosophy that you can do good while doing well.
He always said that if we did right by our investors, we would do right by ourselves.
He was an entrepreneur who, at age 43, started a business with just a few people, and he grew it to be a lasting enterprise.
At W.P. Carey, we have built a foundation of ideas and a philosophy over time that keep the spirit alive.
And I specifically remember coming in for my interview and leaving, and I had met my now boss, who had been here over 10 years, and the head of our group, who had been here over 20 years. And I remember thinking to myself, there must be something people like about the place to stay that long.
We all have our differences, different strengths and weaknesses. We've never had the mentality of following the herd.
We've been able to build a track record of more than 41 years in business, and we've been delivering returns to our investors since 1979.
I think that as much as we've grown and have evolved, I think we'll continue to evolve, and I really believe that the best is yet to come.
We're only going to see the company grow, but I don't think we'll ever lose any of our core values because I think that's very at the forefront of everyone's minds. Even though Mr. Carey isn't with us anymore, I think his values have stayed very strong among all of the employees.
I would say that Bill, if you were to ask him towards the end of his life what his single biggest asset was, clearly he would say his reputation. And I think that's true for us too.
I love this company. I love the guys and gals that work here, and I think we're going to continue to do the best job in the world.